Could not, could not have picked a better song to enter in for this particular Twitchy Tuesday. Welcome, everybody. You are joining Maloney Adams with Habitual Sages for Twitchy Tuesday. We have a Mercury-filled conversation today, and I am very, very, very excited about it. And again, that alignment with the music and the energy of Mercury, like, ooh. So just so everybody knows that that is a Pretzel Rock Hall of the Mountain King. So much in love. Okay, welcome. It is March. I had to look at the calendar. March 28th, 2023. We are back at it again with the astrology for the week, along with some fun tarot. And I'm going to be your host. I'm hosting this joint all the way through. Again, Maloney Adams, Habitual Sages. This is what we do every Tuesday. It is called Twitchy Tuesday. And I am so grateful and thankful that you are here watching, whether that is live or on the replay. Let's go ahead, and I'm calling this now the clear space. We are just going to clear some space, get the necessary stuff out the way, and then we can really dig in to the astrology, to the tarot. I have some amazing, amazing decks here today. I have got the energy of Moldavite here. Like, we've got all kinds of things going on for this Mercury-filled conversation. So, clearing space. First off, thank you all for being here. Really, it is because of you and all the things that, these things, you creating this community and being here with me on Tuesdays or watching replays. This is what it's all about. It's about that exchange. It's about that exchange of energy. And part of that exchange is also helping to support and grow this channel. So I would love and appreciate so much if you would support me by following, subscribing, turning on the alerts, and then forwarding and sharing all of that goodness out to your community. And this is how we all become closer. This is how ripples happen. Thank you. Channeling my inner Moni, ripples in the matrix. And then all Twitchy Tuesdays are scheduled. Look, doing a solid. I love organization. I love having things in my calendar. I was just talking about this with somebody. So all Twitchy Tuesdays are now scheduled through April. You can find those not only on Twitch, but on YouTube as well. If you go to the live section of my YouTube, you can actually literally just click the notify me button. And when I go live, boom, you'll be right there. So that way you don't miss it. We also have Red Pill Astrology Lives. Those are off and rocking on YouTube. That is where Moni and I go through and talk about all things, the ingresses, the lunations, and any retrogrades that would be occurring. Obviously, we're not in retrograde season yet. And those are also scheduled and available for notifications on Red Pill Astrology's YouTube channel, which you can always access through Habitual Sages. And that's the clearing space. Look, we got the Palo Santo, we got the clear space going on. So that is where we need to be. Now, we got a little bit of talking to do before because it is a Mercury day. We do have to give reverence and honor to my ancestors. Thank you so much for speaking to me and speaking through me so that way I can continue to do your work on this planet. And because we are talking about Mercury, we also have to give a huge, huge blessing and thank you to Baba Eshu for guarding the crossroads, delivering our messages, and being the conduit between Orun and Aye. Thank you, Baba. We appreciate you. So, there's some really interesting things happening today. Today is actually a Mercury day. We have Mercury conjunct Jupiter. He conjuncted Jupiter at 18 degrees, 14 minutes of Aries. And it's already been that's kind of shown up interestingly. We'll get to that when we get to the tarot. But one of the things and why I wanted to bring that up first is because I don't know if everybody knows, but Apple did release their classic music app today on a day where Mercury conjuncts Jupiter. Look, billionaires use astrology. I'm telling y'all. I have been all over that app today. It's wonderful. It was the impetus for definitely having the classical music playing today. Um, it I'm really excited to see how that space grows and, communicating in a different and bigger way. What a beautiful Mercury conjunct Jupiter in Aries and something brand new, right? Brand new here. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is this week. So as we go, Twitchy Tuesday is Tuesday through Monday. And from that astrological perspective, we're actually changing the calendar. So now we're headed into April, and April turning the calendar means we are done with quarter one and we are now live into quarter two. So, quarter two, you can go check it out on my YouTube. I did a whole year ahead forecast. My quarter two, what I labeled for quarter two was called pure potential. And the reason why is there's just this like eclipse season starts. There's something that we are planting right now. There's something that we're working towards. There's something new that is being birthed. And those have been the messages that we've heard in the past Twitchy Tuesdays over the last couple of weeks. So there's some sort of like ripeness. The words that I had used there, because I went back and looked at my notes, was ripeness, loud, rearranging. There comes in those retrograde energies, very curvy. Like there's just this like flow to quarter two that isn't like so many shift shock energy changes where you kind of feel like, whoa, I've got whiplash from all of this energy. But it is like it's like pleasantly moving. It's a pleasant flow to quarter two. And my favorite term out of that came out of that reading for quarter two was pleasantly chaotic. There is still chaos happening. There is still a lot of really loud energy and noises, but it is pleasant. It is manageable. It is something that if you are diligent, you can, still, again, curvy, you can still flow with that energy. And really, it's just about this beautiful eclipse season that we're going to be having for this first half of the year. So I just wanted to level set on that quarter two, because as we get into April, I'm sure those things will come up over and over and over again through the Twitchy Tuesday. So that gives us a nice little level set. So as it comes to the astrology, this week, well, we've got happened on Saturday. Hallelujah. We have Mars in Cancer. I am free. Y'all, my brain is empty. It is not like something is sitting on my brain anymore. I was rolling Saturday and Sunday. Ask me a question. I'm here all day. I got answers. We are good. I am making things are just flowing. It was so beautiful to feel that water kind of rush in and that cooling rush in and just get that brain out of this kind of like restriction and confinement and like want to do that Mars energy, like oof. So now he's in Cancer, and I will tell you, talked about this in one of the other ones, tummy, digestion, lots of uproar in that area. So that has been very much coming up today. So I'd love to hear from anybody else if you have had any things going on with this Mars in Cancer. How has it been treating you? What have you noticed? And really, what did you learn with Mars in Gemini? And what are you kind of placing awareness on now that Mars is moving on and pretty much going to be at the second half of or is going to be transversing the second half of the zodiac, your natal chart, over the course of this year. So astrology, lots of personal conversations this week. Still have my PSA. All planets are still direct till 4/21/23, but there are a lot of personal planet action this week. In fact, yes, the personal planets are meeting up with all of the outer planets, but the personal planets are really active. So there's something very visceral. There's something very personal, 3D, something that is like present for you here and now throughout this week astrologically. And that's why I wanted to really hone in on Mercury and what his journey is really going to be like. Because this week he will, and when I say this week, I mean the 7 days from today till next Tuesday, he will be headed into Taurus and then immediately squaring Pluto. And this is the first April. This month of April is going to be the first month where we actually have an activation of Saturn in Pisces with an aspect to a planet. Yes, the moon's been around, we know that, but an actual planet, Saturn in Pisces and Pluto in Aquarius, since they've ingressed into these signs, this was that major energy shift of March. They haven't had aspects. So this is going to be the first month where that really happens, and the first one is on the 3rd, when Mercury squares Pluto in Aquarius. Saturn will get his day a little bit later on, and we'll talk about that in the next Twitchy Tuesday. But Mercury's got a journey, so that's what we're going to focus on. And again, the music, all of the things. We have Moldavite here. Thank you to Tumbleweed Botanicals out in Lubbock. They have Moldavite candles. Like, I have Moldavite. I've worn Moldavite for years. I love this stone. This stone works with me and my energy really well. But I'd never seen like a Moldavite candle. Apparently, from this thing, I mean, they've got oils, bath salts, facial scrubs, soap, spray. I don't know if I'm going to be doing all that with Moldavite. Like, that's intense. Moldavite is intense, just wearing a stone. Like, I really had to think about, do I want to wear 2 pieces of Moldavite today? Or is that going to be too much in my energy space? But yeah, they've got all kinds of Moldavite. It's the Moldavite Man is where these tea light candles came from. They're really cool. Look at that. Just a nice green candle providing that energy out there. When I opened it and got ready to light it, it was, yeah, that energy was there for sure. So Moldavite has been definitely calling. And I think in my, if I were to align just where astrologically everything is, and especially things that are within my natal chart, Moldavite's being totally called right now with this Pluto in Aquarius. This is that, like, Moldavite is really, really great for channeling those outer communications, tapping into the Akashic records, tapping into the ancient wisdom of, all of the beings out there, whatever that looks like and whatever you believe and feel within that. They're really great from channeling those messages from Sirius, messages from Palladius, messages from all of these kind of really wonderful star systems. So, Moldavite energy. This is where we are aligned. All right. Let me switch screens because y'all want to see some cards. Cards being pulled. All right. Here is what we have today for everyone. We will be using for Tarot. I have the Spellcasters Tarot. Look, this is the handbook. Is that not crazy? Like, this is a beefy handbook. It comes in a huge box. But this one we will be using today. I've used this before on another reading, but I felt just with the imagery and everything inside of it. Sorry, I love smelling books. We had to, like, this is exactly where Mercury wanted to be, where Eshu wanted to be today. So, Spellcaster's Handbook, obviously all of the decks that I use will be placed in the description box on YouTube and on Twitch afterwards, and I will put them in here right now in case anyone is interested. I also have my tiny tarot, my Morgan Greer tiny tarot out here holding it down as it always does. And you can see that right below. I just threw in those decks. And then we have the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Another really beautiful deck just to help guiding, and that one's over here, just to help guide and give us some little extra information, extra messages that want to come through. So we will see what comes out. All right, so let's go ahead and start the astrology of the week. Yeah, no, we're going to go here. We'll get to this in this whole broad conversation about Mercury. So, all right, 328 today we have, Mercury conjunct Jupiter, we just talked about that. One of the things that I wanted to say um, that occurred for this was this like energy of too many cooks in the kitchen. This energy of there's like so many conversations, so many things happening right now, right? So Mercury is that conversation. It's the how we think, our thought processes, how we interpret communication, how communication comes to us, um how we talk about things, how we align that with our values. And their is our expander. Everything is times 100 with Jupiter. Jupiter also has that really bright optimism to it. It is that benefic. It benefits the sky. It's this wonderful, vibrant, protective energy. I mean, even in its orbit as Jupiter is going around, like Jupiter protects the inner planets from all of the asteroids, like just not flying towards us. That is what his gravity and that is what his purpose out there. I mean, one of his purposes, right? Not all of them, but that is one of his purposes out there in the solar system. So he just really provides that extra ounce of oomph that you need. And right now, Mercury and Aries don't need no extra oomph, but here we are. Mercury in Aries is happy. He is fiery. He is moving. He loves the options. He is he is doing, it's like, oh my gosh, where am I going? What am I doing? And too many cooks in the kitchen. There are so many options coming in. 8 of Wands. And this is fast, fast, fast. It's not like, you know, yes, people can be fast. Magic is faster. The energy waves are faster. And everything is coming in like this. There's not a lot of time right now to sit and like mull over all the things. Analysis paralysis is not really like that energy of analysis paralysis. That's not where we're at right now. And so if that's something for you where you're like, yeah, but I need to wait. Mercury and Jupiter are like, yeah, there ain't no waiting. There ain't no waiting, because it's not even that they are asking you to wait, or that it's other people. Like this, too many cooks in the kitchen. These options are coming from others. These options are coming in, and it's like asking, like, you have to make a decision. You can't wait on this. You have to make a decision with what you're going to do with this information and what you want to take on, because there are other things that are occurring that are waiting for you to make this decision. Right here, you have the 9 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the 9 of Wands. 8 of Wands, fast moving action incoming. It's coming. So what are you going to stand up? What options are you going to use to fortify what your dreams are? What is happening for you? What you're going to be doing? And then how are you going to stand in that with courage? How are you going to protect that? Because as Mercury goes ahead, right, and this is what all of this conversation we're going to be getting into, Mercury has moments. Mercury is going to be having a journey, which includes his retrograde in the sign of Taurus, where you got to be sure and you got to be willing. Like, is this your hill to die on? Which one of these options is your hill to die on right now? With all of these cooks in the kitchen, is that your kitchen that you're willing to put everything in? Or do you need to go and get a new kitchen? Can you let that go? Can you not be confined by that? Because you need to stand in your courage and your power. He's even looking at all of these options. You need to stand in that courage and that power, looking at all these options coming in and going, I know I can fucking make this decision. I know I can fucking do this. I know I can. Because when we get to Mercury in his retrograde in Taurus, even in some of these conversations that Mercury is going to have, including the square to Pluto, there will be questions. Are you going to be okay revisiting this? Are you going to be okay to start this now and to go down this road now to know that maybe in a month, and this is a maybe, it's not a guarantee, but this is a maybe, that maybe in a month, something's going to have to change. You're going to have to relook. You're going to have to start over. You're going to have to reprioritize. You're going to have to do those things in life. All right, let's see if there's anything else. Nope. Okay. So then on the 29th, clear day. The 30th, we have Mars in Cancer trining Saturn in Pisces. So here's Saturn's activation at 2 degrees, 36 minutes. And then we have Venus conjunct Uranus, 16 degrees, 45 minutes of Taurus. That both of those things, so the lovers, Mars and Venus, both have conversations happening on the same day. And I'm not going to get into the particulars of that because this conversation really is wanting to be revolved around Mercury, but did want you to know that on the 30th, those two things are happening. The 31st and the 1st, there are no direct aspects. Again, 2 more days of integration, 2 more days of preparation, 2 more days of work as we're working towards this Mercury retrograde, which is going to end our all planets direct season. And then on the 2nd, Mars in Cancer will sextile the North Node in Taurus at 4 degrees, 10 minutes. And then on the 3rd, and the granddaddy of this week, and what we are here to review is Mercury. Ooh, look at that. Mercury is headed into Taurus. That Knight of Rods right there. He's ready. Look at how ready he is. He is like, okay, I'm ready. But then I literally square Pluto, like not even 11, 12, 1, not even 2 hours later, I square Pluto in Aquarius at 0 degrees, 11 minutes. Like, yeah, I'm ready. Woo! Ready to go to war. Ready to do it. I'm ready. I got all the things that I need. But yeah. Yeah. He ain't riding a horse. I'll tell you that much, right? He's like walking up in there. Walking into Taurus, walking into this meetup with Pluto, like, okay, yeah, I can do this. I can do it. And he can. Mercury's got it. But that is what we are going to talk about. So let me put this aside because I want to start using the Spellcasters Tarot to align with this conversation we're about ready to have with Mercury. So Mercury in Taurus, Mercury will ingress into Taurus at 11:22 a.m. Central Time. Again, that is April the 3rd. Then at 1:55 p.m., so again, just like under 2 hours, he will square Pluto in Aquarius. So he gets to get in and not get very comfortable at all. He is going to just dip a toe, and then Pluto's going to be like right up in his face. What are you doing? Hi. We need to talk. Remember me? We've had conversations. We've had conversations since February. I hope you're ready. That's right here. Like he is right up in his business. And again, Mercury in the sign of Taurus, he's got a journey. He has a journey ahead of him there. So let's just level set on what Mercury in Taurus is kind of all about. Like, what are some of the themes with Mercury and Taurus? We'll pull a couple of cards there just with Mercury and Taurus in general and how we can kind of process through that. And then we'll talk about this Pluto conversation and have kind of a new spread with the Pluto conversation, because I love a Mercury and Pluto connection, no matter if it is a square or whatever. A Mercury Pluto connection can be really, really beneficial. It also can be really, really powerful and triggering. So let's just first level set on what does Mercury even look like when he's in Taurus. He can be a little conservative. There's where he's in Aries, and we just talked about, right? Like, you got to make a decision. You got to go. It's time. Like, it's stand in your power, do the things. That is an Aries. Like, that's that fire. Now we're coming into fixed earth. Fixed. It ain't not moving. Taurus, the bull. You ain't moving the bull, right? You can grab the bull by the horns, what are you really doing with it, right? You're not taking it and dragging it around, right? So there's this little bit of conservativeness, and really that to me aligns with that slow, steady, um, like really focused on the delivery and the security of everything that Taurus brings around. And that conservativeness that he has here is to ensure that things are stable, to ensure that there is security, to ensure that the things that you're investing your money in, the things that you're touching, you're feeling, you're seeing, the things that you're experiencing, um, have value and have value that provides to your physical earthbound being, not just you as an individual, but your surroundings, the home that you live in, the information that you consume, the foods that you consume. There's just really like a conservative thought process. Additionally, some other things is he can be a little more stubborn, right? Like, I'm not going to think out of the box, a fixed mindset, getting a little bit trapped in that fixed mindset versus a growth mindset can be very like, no, this is the way I'm doing it, and you're not gonna, I don't care what you say. There's no other direction. This is the direction that I'm going. There could be this need to touch things first. So printing out a contract that you can sign online because you actually want to have it in your hands, and touch it and feel it and make sure it's real. Instead of doing things digitally, going into a brick and mortar building to do it. So it could, um, instead of using Zelly on your banking app, you go and actually get a check. I don't know who does that anymore, but it's fine. But you get the analogy. Going and getting an actual check and using a check instead. So, like, needing to have this sensory of touch is there, artistic, very artistic, wanting to experience what you're doing, thinking, feeling versus just absorbing it. So that can look like, and this was so funny when it came up. It was um like when you're cooking, instead of watching a video on cooking and then going and actually cooking, it's let me watch the video while I'm cooking. Let me I need to experience what's happening in order to bring it in and ground it into my thought process. And there is a lot of planning for the future here. Um and Mercury has seeds. Mercury has been on this little kind of quiet journey, collecting his little seeds, collecting his little bits of knowledge and wisdom and things that he needs in order to get into this sign of Taurus and begin to plant those seeds, plant what is in the future. And it's there is chaos. There's a lot of noise happening. There is going to be a lot of noise happening. It's pure potential. Quarter two, there is pure potential noise happening. And that is Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus, eclipses, the North nodes, Venus moving on, Jupiter into Taurus. There's so many things and these interesting configurations of aspects throughout this next quarter in April that Mercury is going to be vibrating very, very high. He is going to be on overdrive. And he does want to plant these seeds. There is a need to plan for the future, and he wants to be conservative. He wants to be diligent in it. He wants to make sure that things are done right. And then he's going to retrograde. And then he's going to retrograde in Taurus. And it's like Mercury, oh my gosh, Two of Pentacles. I love it. And if that doesn't look like Mercury, stop yourself. He's got this, something's got to be planted, handed off, started, whatever that is, wherever this is activated in your chart, whatever that looks like for you, there is something that needs to be done. But what is he going to do with it? And nobody is able to help him right now. Oh my gosh, Jada, right? Thank you for that, Jada. For those that aren't seeing it in one of the other streams, Jada1113 said, Mercury better not put us through hell again. I've had enough, in all caps. We'll put an exclamation point on that for you. Yeah, he's Mercury. I think it's interesting because I do feel like Mercury is going to not be the biggest voice in the room like he normally is. And there is louder voices that are coming out through April. There is louder voices that are coming out through quarter 2, just like there was louder voices in March, right? Mercury was doing all kinds of things in March, but we didn't hear it. Or let's not say we didn't. We may not have heard it, right? Everybody has their own experience. Can only speak for myself. We may not have heard it amongst the rest of the noise, but Mercury is doing a lot of really amazing things for us and can do amazing things for us if Two of Pentacles, right? We'll put this up here, Two of Pentacles. If we balance, if we slow down. And that is going to be our kind of challenge right now as Mercury figures out Aries and Mercury finalizes his process in Aries and then gets into this fixed earth. There needs to be this slow and steady. Mercury's going to spend a lot of time in Taurus, and the slower and steadier you can be in that process, the better I think you're going to be able to manage all of these other conversations that are going around. And just have that knowledge, right? We know at the end of April, Mercury is going to go retrograde in Taurus. So what is this journey looking like for Mercury and you and how that's showing up for you? And then be prepared. Just have that knowledge. Know you're going to have to come back and balance some things out, right? No, I mean, look, we got this little dog here. I hope everybody can see that. We got this little dog with a little lunch. We got these 2 boats, right? There's other things happening. There is other conversations happening in the background. And you just have to be willing, again, going back to one of the other cards that flipped first, that 8 of Wands, you have to be willing to stand in your power. Stand in your power and own your experience, own your choices. That is what Mercury is asking. That's what always Eshu is asking of us, is own where you're at and own that this is you and make the choice that is aligned with you and your good character, right? Aligned with you growing and being on purpose, aligned with you and your destiny, aligned with all of the things and all of those things that you're working towards. And there are probably going to be, like, if these boats are coming to shore, they may bring messages to this Mercury. And Mercury's going to have to figure out how to juggle all of that. Okay, well, this ship's got 2 coins for me. This ship's got 2 coins for me. So now I've got 6 coins. How am I going to flip all of those up in the air? What am I going to do with all of this? Now, thankfully, again, he is on ground. Well, he's on a log here, but he is on ground. He's not on one of these boats in the ocean where it's like rocking all over the place. He is in fixed earth. That is to our benefit for sure. And Mercury's retrograde cycle in 2023 is all in the earth signs until we get to the very, very, very end of the year where he transitions. But that is a really great thing because the earth is where the physical things happen. We even have pentacles here. That is earthbound energy. That means things are going to no longer be up here, right? In this like 5D, they're going to start being grounded into our reality. Benefits. All right. So let's actually, before we move on to this Pluto conversation, let's go ahead and pull a little Mercury spread here. So, ancestors, spirit guides. Oh, thank you. What would you like the collective to know about Mercury's journey as he goes through Taurus? What would you like to know? All right, one more. The collective. No, that, like, not 500 more. One more, please. Thank you. Oh, look, that 2 of Pentacles was serious about coming out again. It was like, yeah, no, you're going to listen to me. Okay. All right. So make sure everybody can see. Beautiful. All right. So we have the Three of Wands, the Magician, and the Two of Pentacles. And what we are looking for, again, this is for Mercury's journey in Taurus. So let's go ahead. I pulled these as what's happening in the 5D, what's happening in the heart center, what's happening down in the physical realm. Obviously, there's balancing happening in the physical realm. Just throwing that out there. So Three of Wands up high, just in that 5D. First of all, the number 3 is aligned. Oh my gosh. And we have the Three of Cups. Look, Baba Eshu, we already praised, gave thanks. We thank you again for being here. Number 3 is the number of Eshu. Eshu is aligned with the archetype of Mercury, and boom, already here. And we have the Three of Wands and the Three of Cups. You don't have to worry about what's happening up top. In the 5D, you don't have to worry about it. It is being handled and taken care of for you, hands down. 3 always for me is also the number of the ancestors. It's the number of us being connected in a very visceral way with all 3 points. You have the spirit, the physical, the mental, there's so many different ways 3 points occur. But we have the wands. This is action. Things are being taken care of upstairs. Things are being taken care of. Your Ori has you. Messages are being went out. Mercury's got it. He's taken the messages. He is delivering them. He is bringing messages back. He's doing exactly what he needs to do, right? He's got it. That bird right there, absolutely. Messenger bird. Present. Mercury is present. And look, even here, hold on, let me pull this up for you. You got a message already coming back, right? There's 3 birds in here. So not only do we have 3 wands, but we have 3 birds. So wands, again, that movement, that action, we have 3 birds, 1 leaving, 2 coming in, going back to that balance. How are we balancing all the messages? You don't have to worry about what is happening in the spirit realm. It is being handled. That dream, the things that you need, the intentions that you are setting, all of that is getting worked on up here. Messages are coming back and forth. You don't have to worry about it. Action is happening. And that is that fulfillment. There's this cup energy. That is our emotions. That is the Three of Cups, especially, can be a lot about the community. So this could be a really amazing time as Mercury is going through that Taurian realm, especially with how long he's going to be spending here with the retrograde and then moving forward. This could be a time to develop, right, that community. Get more in tune, maybe even with your ancestors. Get more in tune with that feminine energy, the feminine energy, your intuition. This could be a great time to bring that together or find people that you can connect with on that sort of level. Taurus is a feminine sign. So as Mercury is working his way through here, allow that intuition to come through because, again, your ancestors' spirit got you. You good. You ain't got to worry about that. Spirit got you. But there is something here with a deeper connection, a more satisfying emotional connection to that realm as well. And that to me can be activated through a lot of these other conversations. How are you actually taking what you've learned in the past, how you've grown and developed? As we have the node shifting eclipse season is coming in, how are you letting go with that south node of the things that are no longer serving you and really moving into what this north node was doing for you? what this North Node will continue to do, which is move you into that direction, move you into the direction of your highest and greatest self, your purpose, your path. And so there's a little bit, trying to see if there's any more. Nope, that was the message. All right, the Magician, this beautiful heart space that we have the Magician here, and this is all about the alchemizing. This is all about leaving that heart open to allow the chemical processes that are needed, the alchemization, the energy processes that are needed to effectively continue to move during this time. Mercury in Taurus is slow and steady. Remember, we just talked about that. Mercury does okay in Taurus. He does okay. Not his favorite, right? He's kind of like just in this fixed, earthy vibe that he needs, that he's going through. And that's okay, because here's what I'm getting with the Magician. It takes time. Alchemy just doesn't happen, right? It's not like, oh, I'm going to take mercury and oh, I'm going to take sulfur and I'm going to like drop them together. Don't do this, by the way, in any way, shape, or form. But I'm going to put them together and I'm going to get an instant reaction. Woo! Instantly, we have magic. That's not what happens at all. Magic is about ritual. Magic is about time. Magic is about process. Magic is about following a set and series of things over and over and over again. And that is really what, like, allow your heart, allow your process to and your mental process, your heart process, the process of you balancing into even the physical, allow it to take and have the ritual that it needs. Especially connecting up into with the ancestors up top, and even in, having this connecting to that feminine energy, that could take time. If that's not something you're used to, if that's not something that you've been practicing, it takes time to do all of that. It takes diligence. It takes, look at this, Empress and the 10 of Wands. It takes strength. It takes power. It takes connecting to that feminine. Look, this is not fun, right? Like, I love some 10 of Wands, but this dude do not look like he is having fun. It's like he's going up a whole hill with just a bunch of wands, right? He loves doing it. It's not that he doesn't love what he's doing and doesn't see the value in it. It's just diligent work. It's the grunt work. This is this time with Mercury and Taurus. It's getting into that grunt work. It's getting into the ground. It's getting into the things that are needed to sustain, the magic that is needed. Again, sometimes some spells, some magic rituals, sometimes take days. And you have to be willing to go through that whole process. An initiation is not just a moment in time. It takes sacrifice. It takes that space. And I'm really getting, especially Temperance and Empress here. One of the stories that I can just share personally about this experience was when I started practicing Isheshe in my spiritual faith. Excuse me. One of the things that I struggled with at first and had to really work through mentally, going back to this Mercury, and but had to work through it myself mentally, but really, really struggled and really was fixed about, was the step by step by step by step by step by more step process in which all things are done. And there's no going around it. There's no going around it. Like, X has to happen before this can happen, before that can happen, before that can happen. I am a mutable Gemini rising. For me, that is like, but wait a minute, I can go over here and I like, wait, why can't we just move these things around? it has to go in order, and there is a reason and a purpose for this. And what I struggled with initially was the discovery of why. Like, why am I carrying these 10 wands up a fucking hill? Right? I love my job, I love my kingdom, I love what I'm doing. But why are these 10 wands necessary? And I've been saying this in a couple of different spaces recently, and it feels really prominent here, especially with Temperance, who has that little bit of and the Magician, right? There's this little bit of, you kind of don't need to fucking know the why. That's the why. There you go. You're welcome. Right? It's that, with finding a better way to say it, because I told you so, because that's the way that it's done. And I am a very big believer, again, not fixed mindset. There's Just because it's always been done that way doesn't mean it always needs to remain that way. However, when you are working, right? When you're working in the heart space, when you're working on um your magic, your rituals and things of that nature, there is a reason, even though they may not know the why, or it might be because it was always done that way. There is a reason for that process. There is a reason why you are resisting that process, why you are like frustrated with that process. It has nothing to do with the process. And that can really be this wonderful lesson with Mercury and Taurus of, in that heart space, like knowing that, okay, this has its place, it has its time. And why, instead of this is happening to me, which is where I was stuck at the beginning, it was, what is this doing for me? And how can I evolve within this? And I love that there's a snake here that is losing and like shedding his skin, because that is part of the alchemical process. That is part of being the magician, is the shedding of something, the shedding of one substance to another, the shedding of one, you know when you started the spell, when you started the magic, when you started the intention, what is it now changed into? How is it shed its old skin and came into the new skin? How have you as an individual done that? All right, now let's take a look at Mercury down on the earthly realm. Whoa. And okay, well, there we go. Look, noted. Oh, one more. Okay. And out came the Two of Pentacles again. So very much like just balancing all the things that are coming at you, man, with ease and grace. Like, this dude is not just balancing, like he is balancing on a log. Like, I got this shit. Got it? I got this shit. You have the Five of Wands. So Five of Wands can have a little bit of a different, when I look at it from this perspective, sometimes the Five of Wands is like a little bit of like protection, or like, hey, like that kind of argumentative, like, we want change, we want change. What is happening? Why isn't action being taken? It can have that energy to it. On the other hand, the other energy that I'm getting with this is like a celebratory, like, yeah, we did it. We did change. We did manage to balance all of this out. We did manage to get there. And in the earthly realm, especially with the Six of Pentacles and Ace of Rods here, that's how I'm more aligning with this energy that's coming out, is this, yeah, we have this balance. It's paying off. Look, it's fucking paying off. There is something here with the Libra full moon, by the way. I don't know what it is. We can talk about that when we get into the Twitchy Tuesday for that. But there is, which will be next week, but there is definitely enough balance here that this, whatever is occurring right now, watch, pay attention to, understand, journal about, because there's something with the Libra full moon that is bringing in something new. And it's worth celebrating. You are worth celebrating. All of this work that you're doing right now to balance all of the, like, this is a skill. Juggling is a skill. I can't fucking juggle. Put in the chat if you can juggle. I can't juggle. I've tried. It's a skill. I don't want to learn that skill, but those that have learned it, that is awesome. It takes time to learn that skill, though. It takes time to be able to gain the confidence that I can not only juggle, but I can also juggle while sitting on a log. I can also juggle while other things are being thrown at me, right? While other coins are coming my way. While I'm doing this balancing act, while I've got 5 wands and 8 wands and all of these things like, hey, we're here. It's a skill set, and you should be celebrating where you're at and where you're going. But there is definitely something with this Libra moon that is coming in hot. Coming in hot. It is definitely how do I want to word that? It's not like, it's definitely add to. It's an add to whatever that looks like for you. And add to a relation, speaking in Taurian themes, add to a relationship, add to financial security, add to finances, add to your home, and like the structure with which you're hold on. Like a mortgage, right? Like things like that. Like the things that have that longevity and that foundation, that steady foundation for safety and security. And it's coming in and it's going to be good. So observe. Mercury, look, they're doing their job. All things are happening. And this is so divine. And I'm really, really happy we're having this again, Spirit, thank you for guiding. Ancestors, thank you for being here. But this is like, we talked about Mars, we were talking about the warrior, and now it's really this like Mercury has something very important that he's doing and needs to say here. So I'm really happy we're able to connect into that and get some of those messages. Oh, actually, let me throw these back and we'll get so that way all the energy is here. We will get the mystical shaman oracle for Mercury's journey in Taurus. Okay, thank you, Spirit. What oracle message do you have for Mercury's journey in Taurus? What message do you have for Mercury's journey in Taurus for the collective? Ooh, the hummingbird. Oh my gosh, I love hummingbirds. Used to live in Vegas and there were always hummingbirds around. They're so amazing. Okay. Let's get the book. See what it says. 26. Okay. The hummingbird. The essence. Despite being so little, hummingbirds are great journeyers, migrating between North and Central or South America to feed from the summer nectar. This gentle creature can be fiercely territorial to protect its home. Hummingbird teaches us to be gentle to ourselves and protect our personal space. Hummingbird invites you to embark on your epic quest. Bypass the dung pile of old pain and hurts, head for the flowers, and learn to trust the calling you hear ever so softly. The invitation. The buzzing you feel is the sound of your hummingbird wings preparing you to say yes to a new adventure. This is not the time to linger on what's gone wrong, but to trust in the rightness of the moment and take bold action. Trust that success is assured even if you must face tests and challenges to reach your destination. Know that all is well. Be well because all is in the small. This mighty being, hold on, I think I said that sentence wrong. It was meant to come out that way, but I'll read it right correctly. Know that all will be well because all is in the small. The medicine. This mighty being comes to teach you stillness and motion and to trust your inner knowing that the sweetest nectar is assured. Failing to act when the moment is right can spoil your journey. If you feel your safety, comfort, or day-to-day survival are more important than saying yes to the invitation to explore the unknown, you will have to work much harder to achieve what is being offered to you freely now. So still your mind, even in the midst of your very hectic schedule, and heed the gentle voice that calls to you to test new wings. Thank you, hummingbird. And I love that it's that connection to more birds, more of that flight, that message coming back and forth. Thank you so much for that. So we will put this back. Let's get these. All right. So now let's chat while I'm putting these away about this Pluto and Mercury meetup. So why I wanted to highlight this as even just a separate conversation is because this is the first meetup that Pluto is going to have since he ingressed into Aquarius. And that's a big deal. And the fact that it is with Mercury, our communicator, and we are all still in this vast unknown of what Pluto is going to bring in his Aquarian transit. And we are still in the vast unknown of what he is going to do to finalize his transit in Capricorn. There is a very, this is really coinciding so amazingly that this is the first planet that Pluto is going to meet up with. So, Mercury and Pluto for me, I love Mercury and Pluto together. I think that they have amazing mutual benefits when expressed maturely. Just like with everything, right? Their benefits together of uncovering things, of like exposing things is so grand. But they also can be really, really powerful and triggering. One of Pluto's, and I've talked about this a lot with Pluto getting into Aquarius. One of Pluto's main tools is fear. That's one of Pluto's main tools that he utilizes consistently, is that fear paradigm. And so when we have Mercury here, that fear paradigm can get knocked up a notch through how we are communicating and being communicated to, and what we're allowing to be told as our truth and be held as our truth. And that they can be they can have these triggers of manipulation, control, uncovering again things that are hidden. And I love that that is both a really great thing, and then that's also that can be very interesting, because, and this is what I love this conversation, and this is why Pluto and Mercury for me are so great together, because investigative journaling is literally the best description of Pluto and Mercury together, or a PI, private detective, right? Though that combination, that investigative journaling, is so necessary because it uncovers truths that are being suppressed. However, ask both sides how they feel about undercover or investigative journaling. There are two sides to that story, and what is right and what isn't. The story may needed to have come out, but at what cost? Because no matter what, right? History, written word, all of that, there are always two sides to the story. Somebody is always the hero, somebody is always the villain. And depending upon how this story is written and from what perspective, you may get two vastly different ways that that comes out, right? It could, on one side, be very expressed in maturity. Thank you, investigative journalists, for bringing this to light. And on the other side, the person that was brought to light, or the thing that was brought to light, is like, the fuck? There was a reason why it was suppressed. There were more implications. We see this narrative play out in movies all the time, right? Think of Jason Bourne. If y'all have never seen the Bourne series, please do. One of my favorites. I could watch it over and over. That's this whole Mercury Pluto conversation we're having right now. Oh, thank you. Queen of Rods, 3 of Pentacles. So like what is right? Right? What is real? What has the integrity behind it? Right? Like this queen, look at she's holding a sunflower. She is yellow. She has power. She is a queen. She, she's sovereign. But look at her face. Does she look trustworthy? Like, does she look trustworthy to you? Does she look like she has everybody's intention at heart or only her own intentions at heart? Right? Like these are the sorts of things that Pluto and Mercury, especially in a square, can start to bring up, can start to question, can start to have you question as they go through that journey. And then we have this 3 of Pentacles here where it's like Mercury is just trying to do his work. Look, Mercury is just trying to do his work. He is trying to get, again, we have more ancestor, we have Eshu here. Mercury is just trying to do his diligent work. He is trying to create the foundation and structure that he needs. And like this, what are these? Stained glass windows look great, right? They look beautiful. But what if this queen doesn't like it? Again, Pluto's coming right up in this motherfucker's face like this. What if she don't like it? Mercury's going to start all over again. That's that be prepared to redo things, especially with Pluto in the mix, especially with Uranus in the mix, because Uranus is still in Taurus, which Mercury's going to have a whole meetup with later on. So let's talk about Mercury and Pluto's journey together real quick before we get into that reading, and then we can finish out Twitchy Tuesday. So on February 10th, Mercury and Pluto conjunct at 28 degrees 58 minutes of Capricorn. So they met up. Some Pluto, and I talked about this, and we've talked about this on Red Pill Astrology. Pluto gave something to Mercury for his journey. Pluto knew what journey was coming up. Pluto knew what Mercury was going to need as he gets into this whole thing. Pluto also knew his own journey. Pluto knew, bitch, the next time we see each other, I'm going to be in another sign. I'm going to need you to help me not forget this, whatever this was, right? I'm going to need you to help me not forget what my role in Capricorn is. So that way, when I get back here in a little bit, I can finish that out. Well, and when I get back, I mean like 8 times. No, he's really only going back and forth a few, but still, that's a big deal with Pluto. So it's like, I gave you something. What have you done with it? So then on 3/18, we had Mercury in Pisces sextiling Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees 55 minutes. So just a little over a month later, Mercury and Pluto comes back in a mutual conversation. A sextile is great. And that was a check-in. How, how do you need Pluto saying to Mercury, how do I help support you with this journey? You still have what I gave you, right? You still have that? Okay, great. So what else do you need from me? What else do you need from me as you continue to move forward? Do you need a better bag? Do you need me to secure that better for you? Do you need me to, like, what does that look like? The other phrase that came out when I was thinking through this kind of whole conversation was it's almost like Pluto's been speaking Mercury's name when Mercury wasn't there. And that is really wonderful. And what I mean by that is like that kind of concept, like, have people talk about you when you're not in the room, talk pleasantly about you, talk well about you. Like that's what you want is you want your work, you want your values, you want your energy to be talked about in a really healthy way amongst others when you're not even present for that conversation. And that's what I felt like Pluto was doing with all of the other planets. He was like, yo, guess what? Man, I met up with Mercury when we were in Capricorn. He did me such a solid. He has taken this, whatever it is, and he's going to give it back to me when I'm in Aquarius, and he's going to help me through. What a dude. If you need something, Mercury is your dude. Mercury has no idea that that's even going on. He's just in his integrity box. Integrity box checked. So now on April 3rd, they will be squaring each other. So we have this square at 0 degrees, 11 minutes. Mercury will be in Taurus, obviously. And now Pluto is in Aquarius. And now it's a little tense, right? Squares are tense, and squares between Mercury and Pluto are tense. What is being said? Like, Pluto has now no longer, and again, I keep like in your face because that's what it is. This is no longer the sextile and the conjunction where it was like, yo, you my dude. Now it's like, bro, I am all kinds of like in this whole frigid fucking air situation. I want to go back to Capricorn. I can't just yet. Like, bro, what have you done with the knowledge that I gave you? Did I speak your name in all of these fucking rooms and you didn't do shit? Like, don't make me, because again, Pluto has his own integrity box. Don't make me regret speaking your name. Don't make me regret giving you all the kudos and all of the benefits, right? It's like what is being said between these two? What have you done with the knowledge that I gave? Uncover it's like something might get uncovered, like maybe Mercury made a mess up, like maybe Pluto said, yo, don't say shit. Look, yo, bro, don't talk about what I'm giving you. Don't talk about what I'm giving you to anybody. Don't do it. Don't mention it. And then Pluto, through his journey, finds out, well, guess what? Mercury said something to his buddy Mars. Now how's that conversation going to go at that square table? Right? And here's the other thing. Mercury is uncomfortable, right? Look, Mercury just literally, and this is what I love about this conversation and how it's playing out. Mercury literally gets out of Aries where he is moving, working, doing the things, and gets fucking pole vaulted by Taurus, by fixed Earth. He gets smashed to a halt. He's boom, wall. Fixed Earth, you're welcome. He runs right into the bull. And so he is like on the spot. He does not have time to collect himself. He does not have time to prepare. He is uncomfortable, and he is right up. Pluto is right in his face, right up here. All right. Ask me your questions. Will Mercury pass? Mercury is also stuck. He's a little stuck in this position. Like, I got to get through Pluto in order to keep moving on. But he's also staying here. And again, he's got all of these other conversations he's going to have. And he's playing a really big role over April and May. So he better get used to that fixed Earth fast, and he better get used to whatever Pluto and his conversation were. All right, let's go ahead now that we've kind of got that story and that kind of, analogy out there. Let's go ahead and pull the same three. We'll do headspace, heart space, physical realm. We'll do the cross. We'll get some clarifiers, and then we will pull the oracle card. And this is going to be specific for the journey, this meetup with Mercury and Pluto. And so now we're bringing in that energy, that Plutonian energy here. So let's get this. So let's frame question right. So Spirit, what is your message for the collective in the headspace for this meetup with Pluto and Mercury? Pluto's first meetup since his going into Aquarius. this? What is your message for the collective, for the headspace? Thank you. The Tarot said strength. It's like, yeah, you need some strength here. All right. What is the message for the heart space for this Pluto and Mercury meetup? Thank you. Oh, okay. Well, I want that one because, of course, death needed to be here. And do we want any of these? No. Okay. What is the message for the physical? Whoa. One card, please. One card, please. What is the message for the physical, for this Pluto and Mercury conversation? Thank you. Let's put that back. 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands again. That's the second time. And strength is also 8. So 8s, if 8 is your number, drop it in the chat. Let me know because 8s are calling. So we've had quite the few 8s show up. All right. So as we framed this Mercury and Pluto conversation in this spread, the headspace, right? That 5D is strength. Yeah. And I am not even aligning this. This is no longer like your Ori, your higher self. This is your mental. This is literally mental, like your brain, your heart, and your physical realm, your feet, where you are landing. I feel this very body, like I'm getting very like a weight settling on. So this is very body oriented here. Your mental gotta have to hone in on that strength, that leonine energy. Wherever Leo is in your natal chart, you can look there, see what house that aligns with and what themes of that house that aligns with. And whatever those themes are, that could be where you could place this energy to give you strength in the mental as Mercury and Pluto are having this conversation, as Mercury and Pluto do this meetup. There can just also be strength of thought, right? Like here we have another snake. So not only do we have 8s, but snakes are present. Love that. Rebirth, transformation. Again, that shedding of a skin, that like coming out and having something new to show for yourself. Like Mercury with this meeting, again, Pluto is, yeah, up in his face. This is a square. There's some tensity, but Mercury can absolutely go, bro, I'm up here in this strength. I stand in power. Like, I got this. Go ahead and question me. I know how to answer everything. Right? It doesn't mean just because that is a square that it's automatically like not, Mercury doesn't have the ability to come out of that in a very strong and powerful way. But again, it's how are you managing your energy? How are you managing the chaos? How are you managing the conversations? Are you also up here? Have you been taking care of your mindset? Have you been working on your communications, especially as Mars has gone through Gemini, which is the sign that Mercury rules? Have you, like, what did you learn throughout that? And have you grown and developed in that? And then how are you bringing it forward? Right? There's a lot. Whoa, that was a flip. Oh, there we go. Oh, we moving. Cards flying. Okay. The Moon, the Tower, and the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, so this conversation, oh, here, wait, that has a little, boop. All right, let me move this. There we go. This conversation packs a powerful punch, right? This is all about this Pluto and Mercury conjunction. There is a powerful punch here. There could be something that is brought into your mental awareness. You may need strength. You may need to go and Connect with that intuition part of you to discern what is truth with this information that's going to come out. What is your truth with this information, this tower moment in this meetup between Pluto and Mercury? There, something could be revealed, something could be uncovered, unearthed. There could be collectively, you could, especially with Aquarius, this could be a collective thing where you are gaining information out there in the world, and that information is like, no effing way. No effing way. Are you serious? Like, it could be really big. Like, something really, really big could come out of this square and be uncovered. Again, these like scandalousy situations, and that can rock and shake things up. Have strength in yourself. Know thyself, right? Here we have this Nine of Pentacles. Be strong and solid in who you are, what your values are. Like this, think about all the other people that we've seen come out of this deck today, right? Just think back. And all of the other people are very, I mean, even in here, right? Like this person is got some extra on, an extra in the most beneficial way possible. They are super secure in who they are. They love their finery. They love the things that they're doing. This is so Teresian. That Taurus is shining through this card, right? This luxury, the draped in things, this feeling and the texture of the riches of life. Are you, right, as you're going through this mental, there is something really wonderful on the other side of this. Again, that even down here with Mercury's, our reading with Mercury and Taurus, there was something really amazing that's coming in. There is something really beneficial that is coming out of this tower moment. But it is going to take your mental strength. It's going to take strength and that connection to that intuition. Here we have the moon again, and this is a full moon, Libra full moon coming up again. Don't know how that is all connected, but there is something visceral within this Libra full moon. I will be doing that reading over the weekend. For the next Twitchy Tuesday, next Twitchy Tuesday, I will not be live. Everybody, just so that way you know, but I will release the pre-recorded. I'm going to record over the weekend. I will be traveling next week. So I will release the pre-recorded version. So you'll still have a Twitchy Tuesday. But that is going to be all about this moon. And so I'm really interested to see how that comes out and then how we correlate these messages. Again, Mercury's not in Taurus yet. There's still things that are being figured, right? There's still stories that are coming out. We don't have the whole picture yet. Okay, so then when we get to the heart space, death and the Fool, and let's see what else we have. What other cards do we have for this? Pluto, Mercury in the heart space. Pluto, Mercury in the heart space. Anything else? No? Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, and here comes back our friend, the Queen of Rods. Our friend here, the Queen of Rods, where I'm not really sure if she is happy or, man, this whole face is just giving me super manipulative-y vibes. Watch your heart. Protect your energy. That's what I'm getting from this. Protect your energy. There's just something here. Like, this is your brand new journey. This is that, especially in the heart space, like your heart is calling you. Your heart is calling you. You know what this is. You may even already be on this journey. Your heart is calling you into something that is going to cause a change or already has. It is a rebirth. Here we have the Death and the Fool. It is the death of something old, the rebirth of something brand new. Right? We are in Aries season. This is the birth of something new. We left behind old paradigms, old things, whatever Pluto in Capricorn, which again, if you've been working with astrology for a while, you should have no doubt in your mind what Pluto in Capricorn has been working with you on. What this at least, and 2008, when Pluto went into Capricorn, I was not studying astrology like I am now. Not even a little bit. It wasn't until Pluto was in the third decan of Capricorn before I really dug in and started using astrology in my daily life. And that connection point right there, that was like leaving all of that behind. I still know how Pluto in Capricorn showed up for me, what it did, what it will continue to do as it goes back and forth over everything. So here we have this, like, let the old go. Look, the death is even facing this way, strength facing this way, death facing this way. Let it go. Let whatever this is, let all of that go. Allow that to go. Allow it to pass. Say thank you, give it its reverence, moving on, and get into that new energy. And we just got to turn the fool's head. We just got to turn the fool's head around, right? Like you got to be going this way. Let's get it going this way. And here we have the Queen of Rods. And again, I just feel like I want to say very, very clearly, protect your energy, protect your heart space, get some black tourmaline. If you like crystals, get some black tourmaline, on, protect your aura, it might even time to like cleanse and be cleansed of any kind of static and energy that you have hanging around you. Do a house cleansing, use, cleansing materials, whatever that looks like for you. And just watch the energy, around you. Allow people, because this is again a heart thing. We are in Taurus, and so there's a lot around that family and love and happiness with others. Watch how other people are showing up. Act accordingly. Period. All right, then we've got the Eight of Wands. Again, another Eight of Wands down in the physical with the Ace of Rods. Here it is again. Yeah, physically, we ain't got no time. We ain't got no time. There's just things are flying. Things are coming. Again, it's finding that balance with the slow and steady. It's not letting Mercury headed into Taurus and then getting into this upfront and extremely personal meeting with Pluto knock you off of your log. Find the balance. Get that balance back, get that strength back. Know that you can do it. Know you've got a community around you. This is now, look, all of these cards came out in that first. Go back and listen to that message, whatever that was, insert here. But this also is, again, I channeled it up there, but I'm really getting now community. Pluto and Aquarius. There could be this like incoming influx of connecting you with this Pluto and Aquarius. Because again, they're really beneficial together in uncovering things. They could uncover how you need to move forward next. They could uncover for you and bring forth, right, the message, right, those birds coming in, bring forth who you need to connect with in order to make this grounded, a reality. They could put people into your pathway, right? Through all of these wands. If you've got that discernment, if you know that you're juggling appropriately, whatever wand you get out of these six, whatever ones that you choose to hone in on, you could have the resources. And here's the other thing with this Three of Cups, and I don't think we're going to get any more messages because this seems to be the message. Here's the thing with the Three of Cups that I heard very clearly just now is like there's a celebration. There's a celebration of things here. And just know that like as all of this, as things are changing, as these new energies emerge, as we are emerging, as we are continuing to have this human experience, um, there is like, there's a lot of power in your connection to others. There's a lot of power in us as a humanity knowing that we are connected. There is a lot of power in understanding that um, you can't do everything yourself. In order to achieve the things that you want to achieve, it does take it. Like it goes back, and I just heard this. It goes back to that old saying: "It takes a village to raise a child." And I was watching the Canva yearly thing that they just did. And she said it takes a small city because she had started saying it takes a village to raise a company or something like that. But she ended it. She goes, I now know that it takes a small city to start a company. Like, you need other resources, you need other people in order to grow and thrive and develop. It is through that that we do some of our best work with others, right? Some of our own best healing work with others. All right, so let's get the overall, let's get the shaman oracle for this meetup between, thank you, Mercury and Pluto. Soul retrieval. Okay, this is interesting. So, soul retrieval is also something that Moldavite is really great for. So, obviously the Moldavite energy was here and ready for this message. Let's take a look. All right. Soul retrieval. And it's actually for those, let me pull this up a little bit so that way you can see a little better. It's a butterfly with a chrysalis. Hello. That's that death and rebirth we're looking for. Okay, the essence. Soul retrieval is a practice that helps you recover a part of yourself, your energy, your enthusiasm, or your innocence. Y'all, didn't I just say to protect your energy? Protect that heart that you have lost. At first, we'll use soul retrieval to recover from our hurts and heal our childhood wounds. Later, we learn to journey to recover our original nature, that self that never left the Garden of Eden, who still speaks to the rivers, to the trees, and to God. When we return to Eden, we are whole again. The invitation. You are no longer fragmented. You are one with creation. There's that Three of Cups. You have healed the cause of the pain you feel, so you do not dwell, you do not need to dwell on it any longer. Really, it's true. If you're still hovering over an old wound, find a new flight path. Don't be distracted with the little stuff you've already mastered. Go for the big one, the journey back to Eden. The medicine. When did you compromise what you truly believed in? Excuse me, let me read this over, make sure we get this right. When did you compromise what you truly believed in to be loved or accepted by someone? Think back over your life and find the time or times when this happened. Vow never to compromise your integrity again. What have you agreed to in the name of love that you know is deeply wrong? Make it right this instant. Wow. All right. Well, that could be your uncovering for this meetup with Pluto and Mercury. Okay. Those are the messages, everyone. And getting back here, let us round this out. Thank you, everybody who joined me live, and those that watch the replay. We do this every Tuesday just to make sure, once again, Twitchy Tuesday next week will not be live. It will be a pre-recorded. I will be traveling next week. However, you'll still have a release for next week, and then I will be back live the following week. Let's just go quickly back up to the clear space. All of the other Twitchy Tuesdays, they are scheduled through April, excuse me. You can hit the notify me button so you don't miss anything. That can be found on both Twitch and YouTube. On YouTube, if you hit that live button, you can then click notify me. Red Pill Astrology lives are also often rocking on YouTube. You can head over to at Red Pill Astrology through YouTube. That will get you to our YouTube channel. And you can also access it through my Habitual Sages channel. But those are all scheduled out for April as well. We do those 3 times a month where we go over the ingresses in detail, the lunations in detail, as well as at the end of April, we'll be talking about the first starting retrograde of 2023. And then, yeah, make sure you support. I would love if everybody could follow, subscribe, and share. That means so much to me in helping this channel grow. And that is what we are all here to do. Thank you again for joining me and this amazing Mercury conversation we just had. I really enjoyed it. And I'll talk to everybody later. Bye.